Hi Pisces, it's Bailey B. I'm going to be hanging out for another intuitive reading to help you explore your subconscious and see what's going on. Thank you for being here. I intend for this reading to help lead you to more safety and fulfillment. I want you to check in with your own intuition to see what feels true and only pick up what's resonating with you. Today I have the Cosma Visions Oracle deck, and we are going to pick several from there after our first couple of cards from the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And then to end the reading, I'll pick a spirit animal from the Wild Unknown deck by Krans. I already pre-shuffled the cards, but we'll get one more in and then we'll get started. All right. Help me please pull something that Pisces needs to hear today. What is it that we need to hear? Eight of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Queen of Swords. Three of Wands on the back of the deck. So very similar cards to what we've been pulling lately. It is a reading, obviously, about career and work, or whatever hobby or whatever is your main goal in the world right now. It could be actually even family or family goals, things like that. But whatever you're putting all of your effort and creative energy into, that is what is represented here with Eight of Pentacles. And this person is not a newbie at whatever they're doing. This is a skilled artisan here, reflected in the Eight of Pentacles, and it is to show all of your hard work, each pentacle lovingly crafted here, and obviously there's quite a wall of his or her accomplishments here. So that starting energy tells me that with the Death card, we have something that is ending. Maybe your job is ending that you've been doing for a while. Maybe something needs to end in order for you to excel further in your career. Maybe your job needs to end before you can start your own business. We'll get more clarifiers as we go. And then the Queen of Swords energy is here to show us how to rise above negative emotions, how to set solid boundaries, and how to get clear on what we really want out of life, and the best way to go about communicating that with others. The Three of Wands here on the back of the deck signifies that you have taken your Ace of Wands to new heights with planning and then also launching your idea out into the world. So the Ace of Wands is a new passionate idea, and then here we have three wands, so it would be the Ace of Wands, and then the Two of Wands is a energy of planning and preparing for your idea to come into the world. And then here with the Three of Wands we have sort of your first go. So we'll see how this comes back as we get clarifiers. I love this Cosma Visions Oracle deck. It's so beautiful. Let's see how many I just pulled out there. Five of Pentacles on the back of the deck. Five of Trees, but sister card, Five of Pentacles. All right, so we have the Shore, the Phoenix, the Swan in reverse, the Four of Trees, which is the Four of Pentacles. Over here. The Ace of Lotuses, which is the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then the Six of Birds in reverse. So a lot of these came out in reverse. We'll have to kind of get into it and see why that is. Maybe you're feeling a little bit upside down, topsy-turvy this week, Pisces. But whatever it is, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. We'll get to the bottom of it here. I want to get out the book for this oracle deck because these cards are really unique and they have their own messages. So we'll start with the Shore card. This is the sister card to the Tower. So obviously something is changing, something is being uprooted, turbulence, an unfamiliar place. The shore is the rock bottom of the spirit plane. Woof. If this card has appeared in a wake of a disaster, do not let your sudden upheaval define you. While your current territory may be unfamiliar, underneath the crashing waves of the shore sleeps the world you know well. Change is a part of breaking new ground, and some transitions can be harder than others. Take the time you need to adjust to your new reality. Find daily comforts and embrace what you can of the familiar. It will make the unfamiliar feel more like home. So the advice I'm getting from this card is that during this time of change, you're going to want to implement some things that make you feel comfortable. Maybe start to watch your favorite television show over again. Maybe you're taking baths. Maybe you're eating comfort food. Whatever it is that keeps you feeling a slight sense of familiarity during a time that's taking you out of your comfort zone is going to be well worth the effort. So we've got the Phoenix next. The Phoenix is the mirror card to the Hierophant. It represents spirituality and oneness. Look how gorgeous that card is. It's so beautiful. If the Phoenix appears, it's time for a celebration as you are approaching a new awakening and an internal holiness with the self. There is a magic bubbling inside you that only needs your complete oneness in order to soar. Don't become too rigid in your expectations. There is an undeniable natural changeability that will happen within the self. Allowing patience and room for the spiritual awakening to take place will lead you to soar to greater heights. So there's more of a call here to rest and make use of self-care. That way, the more patience you have for yourself, the further you can move and the higher heights you can fly to. The Swan here is in reverse, so let's check this out. The Swan is the High Priestess energy. So what I'm getting from this in reverse is maybe something is setting off your intuition in a way that is kind of warning you about something. It's related to the Death card here. So I'm wondering if there's something that you are encountering at the moment that is kind of like setting off your spidey sense. Maybe it's a person around you. Maybe it is like a part of a contract you might be like looking at and wanting to sign. Whatever it is that your intuition is telling you, like, I'm not so sure about that, I would listen to that. Heed that warning from inside of you, because with the Death card here, it might even be something that you have actually worked for a really long time on. Something that is like, you continue to move forward with something until you realize it is like completely the wrong direction, and then you have a chance to change, but you're still pretty far down the road. And if you've come to a place where you're like feeling increasingly like something is not going the way that you wanted it to, I would definitely encourage you to listen to that voice and make the necessary changes, even if that means doing something a little bit unexpected. Let's keep moving on with the Four of Trees in reverse. This is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is typically a time when you have made your fortune, This card is particularly abundant and gorgeous, but it's also a time of sort of holding on to everything that you have earned really tightly. And in the traditional deck, it has somebody actually clinging to their pentacles so tightly that it's cutting them off from their groundedness. And I think that's might be what's happening here, Pisces, is that the reverse Four of Pentacles here is telling you that things might not be going the way that you think that they were going to. There's always places in our journey where we have to make slight changes. We have to be adaptable. We have to be able to change direction if, say, we're testing a product and it isn't going as well with audiences as we had planned. There's always time to tweak that as we go along. So don't hold too tight to what you have so far, because if we can remain flexible with those things that we have, put our time and effort and maybe our money into, we tend to have better outcomes than when we stick to really rigid sets of rules and expectations. So the Ace of Lotus is reversed here with the Queen of Swords and the Six of Birds reversed. This is the Ace of Cups reversed and the Six of Swords reversed. So here with the Queen of Swords, I'm getting a sense that you're trying to communicate with somebody and draw a boundary. There might be something here that you need to say to a family member or a friend, somebody who's not quite following you, not quite, not quite encouraging you to move forward in the way that you need to be encouraged right now. So it's kind of this energy of, hey, I have to draw a boundary here. I can't keep hanging out. I can't keep spending time on these other things because I have a priority here that's really important to me. So I'm getting like a protect your time message from this card. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, it can mean that you do need to take more time for yourself and more time to nurture fill your own cup before you can really offer that to others, especially when you are in the middle of a big change or something that is outside of your comfort zone, or something that is a real 90-degree turn from where you were going before. Even like a change in direction can be completely exhausting because we have to shift so many different things in order to execute something in a different way than we had that momentum going before. So the Ace of Lotus is reversed. Notice how the water is actually coming from the pond around it, now falling into the lotus or the cup. And I get the sense that you need to be drawing from the universe, from the things around you, in order to be rejuvenating yourself here, rather than pouring out into the world. We need to be focusing on pouring into ourselves at the moment. This is what is going to lead you to, as the Phoenix said, this place of strength and a place where we can be making the right decisions among this change and not getting too overwhelmed when things are really uncomfortable, like with the Shore card here and this big change with the Phoenix. So be careful. Don't spend too much of your time and energy on things that are not filling your cup. So the Six of Birds, we had the Six of Swords out last reading. It was upright last reading, and we talked about how you might be moving. We've actually gotten the Six of Swords several times in the last several readings. And it's kind of about moving from an old space to a new space, the old space being somewhere that was a little bit more chaotic or tumultuous, and then the new space being a little more calm. As you can see, the images of planes that have gotten caught up in this whirlwind of sorts, and one of them has started to spiral out of control. It's a pretty dismal outlook for that pilot, but at that point, all you can really do is sort of succumb to the elements and trust that you're either going to survive or not. There's not much more that you can do. But with the Six of Birds or the Six of Swords reversed, what I'm seeing here is that you can avoid disaster. How can you avoid disaster? Well, first, I think looking back at the Ace of Lotuses reversed and then remembering about filling our own cup first so we don't experience burnout too quickly. And also coming back to the Queen of Swords, really drawing those boundaries and setting a clear line between all of these tumultuous clouds, which I see as, petty arguments, little things that don't concern you that other people could take care of, but they're bringing them to you. The opinions of others, things that people might say to you just in passing, where you're like, really, like, why did you have to go there? That was not very encouraging. Sometimes people just project their own weird fears onto us, and it's our own job to kind of like see above all that smoke and to keep our head clear, as the Queen of Swords is doing here. So I think to avert this spiraling out of control with the Six of Birds, we can reverse that energy and instead pour it back into ourselves and avoid the burnout, and also do that with a sense of clear-headedness and pride in our work and ourselves. This is a real energy of respecting your own boundaries, your own space, your own capacity. We're not like super people. We can't do every single thing and do it all perfectly. We have to prioritize, and unfortunately, sometimes that means disappointing other people. And they just have to deal with it. And if they love us, they will stick around and respect what we need in the moment. So let's get out a few more cards from the traditional deck of advice. Now that we know kind of what we're dealing with, we're feeling a little bit out of our comfort zone. Things are really shifting fast. We're going through lots of uncomfortable changes. And I think there's even something here that needs to end, and our intuition is like going off in some sort of way that's warning us. Maybe it's a time for a change. Maybe it's time for a talk. Maybe it's time to end a relationship, that kind of thing. So what else is the advice here for Pisces? The Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and we have the Knight of Wands. So a couple of Knight energies here, and the Empress on the back of the deck. So the Knight of Pentacles is that building energy, that working energy, the slow build, right, for your material and financial success. I keep seeing you building something here over the last month, Pisces. There's something that you are slowly planting seeds for. There's something that you are lovingly taking the time. I'm getting like 12 months. Maybe you've been working on it for the last year. You have done your due diligence. You've done the research. You've been planting, the seeds here and there for this growth, but you haven't quite got there yet. But I'm seeing slow and steady winning the race here. And even if things have gotten a little bit chaotic lately, here with the shore and the Phoenix energy, the Tower and the High Priestess reversed, this is all kind of like a just a turnover, something brand new that's coming. But what is going to save us here is continuing those routines, those things that we've been doing thus far to really take our business or our whatever it is that we're manifesting to the next level. So, like I said here, slow and steady wins the race. You're going to be nurturing yourself in that way too, slowing down a little bit so that you can keep the pace. You don't want to burn yourself out by trying to sprint the entire time. And so, if we take that mellow energy of the Knight of Pentacles with us, that will behoove us and eventually make us more money in the long run. The Three of Cups here, with the Death card and the Swan in reverse, the Four of Trees in reverse, all of this is pointing to me that there are people around you that aren't happy about whatever it is you're doing. It might be gossiping or kind of like not necessarily talking behind your back or like gossiping in like a malicious way, but you know, people talk, like especially, and I think a lot of times it's when people love us, right? They go to other people they know that love us and they want to check in and be like, hey, did you notice they're doing this thing and it's like not working out, or should we say something to them? But what I would say to you, Pisces, is you don't have to impress other people. You don't have to get their permission or they're okay. Just because people aren't understanding where you're headed or they don't, you know, quite get your idea, that doesn't mean it's not right. When you know when something's not right. You know inside of yourself when your intuition's going, no, and I don't like this. This isn't the right thing to do. You don't need to ask anybody else's permission or opinion when making decisions with your gut. You might have well-meaning friends here who are trying to help you make that decision. There's nothing wrong with getting advice. Obviously, sometimes we just need to talk things out with other people to understand how we really feel. But in the end, it's our decision. And so, again, I'm seeing something ending here, and I'm seeing that it might be, you know, a toxic relationship or a toxic connection. Maybe it was, you know, even like your business partner isn't working out and you don't know how to change or shift gears or move forward without that contract. But I would say here with the Four of Trees reversed, also not to hold on too hard to something that you may have been convinced about in the past. Maybe actually somebody's even coming here to tell you, like, hey, I've noticed something about this person. I'm wondering if you might want to reconsider now that you know this information. Um, don't hold too tightly to your previous expectations, is what I'm getting. You're always free to change your mind. You're always free to move in a different direction or say, like, this isn't working for me anymore. I'm going to change and do something else. So don't be afraid to do that, even when it comes to your relationships or something that you've committed to in the past. You change, things change. It's a changing world, and you know, that's fair. With the Knight of Wands here, I'm seeing a passionate vigor ending the efforts here. So I'm really seeing this almost as your energy on the other side of this Knight of Pentacles, how they're kind of like coming towards each other. It's almost like a yin yang vibe here. And I've noticed with readings recently that you've been really coming into balance with opposites, Pisces. You're being the ultimate Pisces, where you're balancing that dark and the light, that busyness and that stillness, pacing yourself, yet continuing to have that vigor for your project or whatever it is that you are passionate about. I don't see you wasting a single moment here in your life that's not geared towards either giving yourself some rest and rejuvenation or following this passion that you're headed towards and really like making sure your ducks are in a row. You're headed there with as much tenacity as possible. So, what I want to definitely drive home is you are the leader of your own pace. You set the pace. So, whatever pace is working for you, Pisces, that's where you need to be. You don't need to go faster for somebody else. You don't need to be slowing down if you're in like a super energized mode a certain day. Like you're setting the pace for this upcoming season in your life. And with the Five of Trees on the back of the deck here, it's the Five of Pentacles. Um, you're also being asked to not succumb to those negative, depressed feelings, the feelings of lack, or those fears in the night where you're like, what if this doesn't work out? What if I end up, being less financially fortunate, or even just, the Five of Pentacles in the traditional deck is a two people actually out on the streets. So you might be really worried about your safety and stability while moving towards this new idea, especially with all this change. It might be kind of freaking you out. But the Empress is here on the back of the deck to also remind us that there's an abundance here, and an opportunity for you to really create that satisfaction, that safety for you and your family, that haven where you and your team are able to be creative together and are able to really generate abundance and safety from a perspective of like drawing things towards you, attracting things to you because of what you have set up. People are going to really want to know what you're about. So things that are going to serve you and are going to be for you in the future are going to come towards you. Also, we have the Three of Pentacles here, so that's another card of just working really hard, being able to work with others in a way that serves everyone's interests, but also this is another artisan here, like with this Eight of Pentacles. So these guys are working really hard on bringing this vision to life and putting their work out there for people to see. I think, look, the Nine of Cups is also here. There's just this undertone of abundance and golden energy. And I know even if all these things have been more difficult for you, it's going to end up in a place where we're really thriving. So don't be afraid to continue to push forward even when things are a little bit tumultuous right now. We are going to pull out lastly a spirit animal card. So let's get to that. First, I'm going to kind of clean this up. Crooked cards drive me a little bit crazy. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to the layout. But I like a pretty spread, so what can I say? All right, with the spirit animal, what is the piece of advice? Oof, it's too many. You don't need 3 spirit animals. Spirit, what is a piece of advice and an animal that we can take away and keep within us for the week, for the next couple of months, for however long we need them? I'm going to keep this one. Hawk energy. All right, so Hawk energy is an air sign. Look how gorgeous this card is. Like, wow. Krans really can draw. All right, so in the Kim Krans Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, the hawk is the second to last in the lineup of the air energies, which means it's almost the most advanced and enlightened of the air energies. The hawk, if you've ever seen one in the sky, is so gigantic. Their wingspan is incredible. I guess not every hawk, but I'm always shocked. The hawks that we have around here, I mean, I don't see them that often, but when I do, it's just like it blows my mind how powerful and gigantic these creatures are. They are watchful, all-seeing, and they are a messenger of divinity. So here's a message for you, Pisces, from the divine. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail, as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you, and the winds are shifting. We were just talking about all this change that's happening. So your fate is here, Pisces. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. So here's another confirmation that what we're talking about is redirecting. We're talking about making moves, listening to our intuition. It is a message from divine that we need to make a change, that we are shifting, the winds are changing. And when we follow that voice, when we hear that message, we end up going towards our fate, and we are more blessed than we would be had we stayed the course. So just keep that in mind, Pisces, as we're moving forward. You know, it's okay to change your direction. It's okay to change your mind. You're still, that total badass that's really making things happen. And just because other people might not understand or see why you're making certain decisions, it's up to you to make those decisions because you're the one with the idea. You're the one who has the vision, and your intuition is very keen. So make sure that you're listening to that gut feeling, that gut reaction, and don't let people talk you out of it. When you're in balance, the hawk energy sees very clearly and is very intuitive. When they're out of balance, they see too much and become suspicious. So to bring that back into balance, you want to have some sort of perspective shift. So maybe that's a walk, maybe that is a short vacation if you can afford one, or maybe it's just like making something different for dinner than you normally would. Sometimes even those little things can really help us shift our perspective. But if you are seeing something shift in your life, if you're seeing a call to shift or something is shifting without your or not consent, but like something that you can't control, something is shifting and it's out of your control, it's for the best here, Pisces. The hawk energy is here to tell us that we are supposed to fly and shift with the changing winds. So I hope that brought you a little bit of hope. I hope it brought you some feelings of joy. I hope it made you feel a little bit more safe in where you're headed. You're doing a great job here. I can see all of the work that you're putting in. It's going to lead you to more abundance here with Empress card. And there is really amazing energy here for you after you've made this change, after you've let go of your original expectations and you've made this shift into a new direction and let the old you or the past thing die as a result of this death card here, and then continue to hold your boundaries, continue to stoke the fire of your passions, however that needs to happen, with self-care and with respecting your own intuitive knowledge and your own nudges, without having to, have anyone else around you agree. The hawk energy is here to remind you that you have the power to shift with the changing winds. You can avoid this disaster, like here with the Six of Birds, this spiraling out of control. You are actually in control, Pisces. You have the intuition. You can listen to yourself. You can make those shifts, even if they're uncomfortable. You can ride the wind to your success, to your abundance, and to this Emperor or Empress card here. So like the video, subscribe for more content. I'm here every other day. I also have a new shorts channel. The link is below, and I'm putting out a morning reading and an evening reading every single day. It's just a quick 2-card reading there. So follow me on that channel. Go check out those videos. If you want to be one of my first 500 subscribers here on this channel, I'm giving away a free hour reading to someone, one of my first 500 subscribers. You can have another chance to win by commenting below the first video. To get to 50 comments, I'm going to pick a subscriber from that video to also win a reading. So there's a couple ways to help the channel grow and also win a free reading. Like the video, don't forget, and I will see you soon, Pisces. Good luck with everything, and I hope you live long and prosper.